Yo, what's good, y'all? Back with another one. Look, man, I'm looking forward to the fucking fights today. I can't fucking wait. Like, man, hopefully it's a great day of boxing. It should be though. But I'm gonna start off with Bam Rodriguez versus his opponent, who is a good fighter though. Like, I actually watched some tape of him the other day, but he's a good fighter. But Bam Rodriguez should win comfortably. I ain't really tripping about that one. And then you have Abdullah Mason versus Sam Nukes. Like, Sam Nukes is a solid fighter, though. And he's actually got some decent size to him. And he can punch. But Abdullah Mason's just a special talent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Abdullah Mason's one of the faces of boxing. The future faces of boxing. And that will hold up. I got Abdullah Mason stopping Sam Nukes around the ninth round. This will be a tough fight at the beginning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause Sam Nukes can fight. I ain't gonna lie about that part. Like, he can fight. But Abdullah Mason is just on a different level. Like, he's a different level of talent, different level of skill. And I expect him to fucking cook. But the two biggest fights of the card is Brian Norman versus Devin. And then you got David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. Honestly, Brian Norman and Devin Haney should be the main event because that's been the fight that sold this fucking card from the jump. You know what I'm saying? That's the fight that's been the biggest fight of the fucking. This might be the biggest fight of the year, to be honest with you, outside of Canelo and Crawford. Like, by far the best fight of the year, no question about it. But as far as David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde is concerned, I got David Benavidez winning probably 11th round stoppage. You know what I'm saying? Because Anthony Yarde's going to give him a problem, though, because Anthony Yarde can punch, and on top of that, he's athletic. He can move. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he's strong as fuck. So it ain't going to be no walk in the park for David Benavidez. But Benavidez combination punching is going to wear down Anthony Yarde eventually. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think David Benavidez is going to win this fight. And then hopefully we get David Benavidez versus Dimitri Bivol next. Or David Benavidez versus Arthur Beterbiev. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see Benavidez in those big fights because I feel like he deserves it. But yeah, I think Benavidez is going to win this fight, man. I got him with 11th round stoppage. And now it should have been the main event. Brian Norman versus Devin Haney. When this fight was first made, I had it completely 50-50 down the middle. You know what I'm saying? I had it completely 50-50 down the middle. And in some cases I still feel that way because this fight can go either way. But the more I've done my research and the more I've done more film study, I think Devin Haney's going to beat Brian Norman. I really do. I think Devin's going to win that fight. And I'm going to explain why real quick. Brian Norman is one of the most powerful punchers at 147. Well, he is the most powerful puncher at 147. Like, he can punch your fucking hole. He can punch a hole through a dude. Like, that's how hard he hits. And he's athletic. And his punch placement is improving. The more he fights, his punch placement has improved. But I think he has two things working against him in this fight against Devin Haney. Number one, Devin has been in much bigger fights. He has way more big fight experience. And trust me, when you're in big fights, that shit fucking matters. Experience matters in big fights. As we've seen in a lot of those big fights, when you're the more experienced fighter, you usually win. That's just like with David Morrell versus David Benavidez earlier this year or whatever it was. When I picked David Benavidez, even though I felt like Morrell was slightly more talented, but David Benavidez had the more big fight experience. That was the difference in the fight, and it played out that way. I think that's going to play out this way too, because Devin Haney's ring IQ and his ability to move and box and jab, I think that's going to be the difference in the fight. Brian Norman's going to have his moments, though. If Devin Haney can take his power, because that's the biggest X factor of the fight. If Devin Haney can take Brian Norman's power, I think Devin Haney's going to outbox him. That's just my personal opinion. But we're going to see how it plays out. But I got Devin Haney winning by unanimous decision probably 8 rounds to 4. I think that's how it's going to play out. So, like I said, I got Bam Rodriguez winning his fight. I got Abdullah Mason stopping Sam Nukes round 9, and I got David Benavidez stopping Anthony Yard round 11, and I got Devin Haney winning a unanimous decision over Brian Norman Jr. But I can't wait for these fights. I'm definitely gonna be tuned in. But y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm gonna holla at y'all. Peace.